Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rolling Out Sisters with Superpowers, Peace and Purpose 2022 virtual event. I am Jackie Clark, and today I am chatting with the beautiful, the talented, Grammy-nominated Queen of Dancehall, Spice. Why?
I
Welcome.
thought I was gonna correct you for a minute because I've been correcting people. I was like, hold up, Grammy nominated.
I got
you got it.
I got you. I already had it in my notes. I was like, I got to come correct for the Queen. Welcome.
Thank you so
Spice.
much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. But before we get into everything, first and foremost, congratulations on your nomination. I
Thank
am
you.
so excited for you. Tell me that moment. What was it like for you when you received the nomination that you were nominated for one of the best reggae albums of the year? What was that like for you?
I was home with family. My kids was here. I was actually in Atlanta because, as you know, I'm on Love and Hip Hop. So I was filming, but I was home, and that's where I got the news. And I remember just running down the stairs and screaming, "I got nominated!" And then my kids start running down. It was like, "Wow!" And then my mom was here. My other half was here. My sister was here. So it was just that moment where everybody was just proud, and it was just very emotional. Of course, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, me. So I felt I'm humbled and grateful for the nomination.
Well, it's very well deserved, right? Like, you've been working so hard for so long. So this is definitely well deserved nomination. And so what does this mean to you and to the culture of the Caribbean culture, the dance hall reggae music? What does this nomination mean to that?
It means a lot. This one is a special one because the genre that I do is called dancehall. It doesn't get a lot of recognition. People only recognize reggae music, and it's two separate genres, even though dancehall was birthed from reggae. So I'm the first hardcore female dancehall artist to ever be nominated for a Grammy. And so for the culture, it means a lot because just to get that recognition from the Recording Academy, as a woman, it's great for our culture because it has never been done before. So it's like I'm opening up doors and creating that, pathway for other dancehall hardcore female artists that's in Jamaica. And it's a burst of talent from so many other women out there. So I'm just gleeful over the fact that, I'm the first, so I feel like I made that pathway for all the other talented dancehall female artists that's in Jamaica. So it's a great accomplishment, and I'm honored.
Absolutely. Like, definitely take that credit. You have definitely paved that way, and there's going to be, you're the matriarch of this path. So we know that the album nominated is 10. So talk to me about this album. What is so iconic about it? And why the number 10? For those who don't know your story, why 10?
The number 10 came from me being signed to my record label for 10 years. There's a recorded history of, the record label and I going back and forth. At first, we weren't seeing eye to eye. I went my separate ways. I was producing myself. I became my own record label. I was my own manager. I created my own team. And because I just felt like I should not, just sit down and wait for something to happen. So I just went out there and figured things out on my own. And it took us 10 years to finally say, let's come together and make this album happen. And so that number 10, it's a great milestone for me. It means a lot to my journey. And so I wanted to take that number with me because I want to be reminded that it took 10 years for me to have my first debut album. So a lot of people don't know that this is my first album. I also take it as a compliment because they just never recognized that Spice never gave them an album because I've been giving them so many consistent hits year after year. But this is actually my first album after 10 years. And so I wanted to take that number 10 with me because it means a lot.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't recognize that because, I know Fight Over Man.
Yes.
Some like it.
Yes.
I know those songs. So I just assumed you had an album. So
and so did everyone else.
but that also goes to show the quality of the type of music you produce, the quality of work that you haven't had an album, but people would never know because the quality hit after hit has just been so transformative. So again, congratulations to the consistency. And for those watching, I really want you to take in, that 10-year journey that you put in the work, you took reins of control over your life. And I love that, because a lot of women, especially women of color, especially in the music industry, sit back to the men and don't really understand that process. So again, kudos to you for taking that step to be proactive in your business and your brand. And so now this is, of course, this is Sisters and Superpowers. And I want to dive more into who you are, what you do, and what makes you you. So being so culturally different now, living in America, how have you adapted to the American culture, being, a Jamaican woman, a Caribbean woman, and what would you consider your superpower has been or is?
Well, to be honest, I haven't fully adapted to the American culture as yet. And I think that the culture that where I'm from and how I grew up, I know that I can go into the backyard and pick maybe a breadfruit and cook it, and just the upbringing that I'm used to, the type of food that I'm used to, it's not really here, or it's hard to find. So it's like starting your life over again with a brand new culture. That's what it feels like to me. I can't go outside and go to the beaches. I'm from Portmore, and the beach is just up the street from me. I can just go to Elsha Beach and chill, write some music. There's no beaches around here. The weather have me sniffling all the time. So everything is different. Everything is just different. So it's like I'm in a new world. And sometimes that allows me to choose the people in my surrounding, because I feel like not everybody will get it. So it's different. It's a total different world here than what I'm used to. The song that I did on my album with my son, the video just came out. It's called Popo. And when I just moved here with my kids, that was also a cultural shock for them when the Black Lives Matter movement started last year, and all the questions of my son, being scared if a police pull him over, and all of that just ties into one. So that's where that birthed from, my son coming to America and seeing all of that Black Lives Matter movement. And that's when we put it into a song. So I have a song on my album called Popo with my son, who is 14 years old, where we are doing that social issue. So everything is just different for me culturally than what I'm used to.
I can resonate. My father's from Jamaica, born in Kingston, and then, grew up in St. Anne. And he came here when he was young. So we came to Toronto, I would say.
Okay, big up yourself. Do you have any patois in you? You're not a Jamaican, look at Jamaican talking.
It's more of a Jamaican, but we can,
you can be a little
But so I totally resonate and understand that story of like culture. Like in Canada, it snows. So my dad is like, when he was a kid, he's like, what is this? My mom's English, but my grandparents are from Barbados. So again, culture shock. And then that growing up around just Caribbean people, Black people, that lifestyle, and then having to switch is definitely different. So what would you say, if you had to give yourself a superpower, what would you say your superpower is?
My superpower is making a meal out of anything, or making a meal out of nothing. I think I got that from my mom. If I come into the kitchen and somebody else would come and say, oh, there's nothing here to cook, I can find you a full meal out of anything that's in the kitchen. I think that's my superpower.
I love that. So then, taking that scenario of making a meal out of anything, how have you used that superpower with the artist Spice? Like, how do those things align?
That superpower that I used as an artist would be creative. I'm a creative person, and that's also came from me creating something out of nothing. So as an artist, that superpower would be my creative vision. So I would say, okay, I'm going to shoot a music video next week, and this is what I'm going to do in the video. And then I start to visualize everything that's going to happen, and I just magically bring it to life and bring it to reality. So I think I have a very creative vision And that has also helped to catapult my career because I've always been different, always been unique, always coming with something. And I keep my fans on the edge of wondering what Spice is going to do next. Even my performances, when I go on stage, it's always something dramatic. And I always be giving my fans, you know, a lot of creativity. So I think that would be my superpower. I'm a very creative person.
And I love that. And the Caribbean culture is very creative, fashion wise, music wise,
Yes.
really, really creative people. And I love that you said that because, you've done a lot of creative things, the white face for one of your music videos for,
Yes.
My friend Nicole, shout out to Nicole. She's a huge fan of yours. She actually dressed up as you for Halloween a couple years ago. Again,
Oh, really?
in that movement of just, talking about this is the problem in our culture, the bleaching and the
Right.
skin. So, I love that. And, you talked about the creativity, and in order to be creative and continue to present different things to your clients, you have to be a leader, and a leader is able to step outside the box. So, what qualities do you think make a leader in the music and entrepreneurial space?
I think the qualities that makes a leader in the entrepreneurial space would definitely be consistency. Consistency is key. And you gotta be creative as well. So you gotta be different. You gotta be unique in whatever you're doing when it comes down to being an entrepreneur, because you always gotta remember that you are not the only person out there that's probably selling a t-shirt. So what's gonna make yours different? What's gonna make yours unique? So I believe in creativity, being different, being unique, so that you can stand out, and consistency, creating content, and just getting yourself out there, getting your brand and your image out there and being consistent with it. I always tell people that, I don't want to name drop, but there's big companies out there who's already established, but they're still advertising. Every time you go on the television, you see them. So I don't want to name drop, but if you take that into, and grasp it, you'll realize that consistency is the key to success.
Absolutely. And that consistency, actually, that leads into one of my next questions. In order to be the best at what you do, you have to be consistent. But outside of being consistent, how is it for any young woman watching this that wants to get into the industry or just be a business leader in general? What is the importance of understanding the process and decision-making procedures of your industry? Like, you were your own boss for essentially 10 years, managing yourself. How did the decision-making procedures and understanding the processes of the industry support your business or your brand?
Decision making has been the hardest thing for me as a boss, as a leader. But my decisions always come from thinking about the customer first, thinking about the fans first. For example, if I have a business and something structurally is not going right, I always think of the customers. If this is going to affect my customer, then I have to, shuffle this up. I got to get this arranged so that when my customer get this service, they feel pleased, because the importance of having a business is having a repeated customer. So you want to make sure your customer service is good, and you got to make a lot of decisions to make sure you have good customer. With myself as an artist, I always want to make sure that the fans are always pleased. How am I going to please my fans? I'm going to please them by being different, giving them music videos, giving them new songs, keeping them, entertained. And so decisions is hard when you have a business, but you got to make strict decisions to have a good business.
I love that.
That's just something quick that I can say. I mean, if I should cut, I don't want to turn this into a business interview, but there's so many detailed aspects of having a business that it's, pretty difficult, but strict decisions will help your business.
I love
For
that.
example, if you have, and I want to give an example when I say strict decision, if your sister is running your business and she's not doing it right, or she's not pleasing your customer, a strict decision would mean to fire her.
Yes.
So that's what I mean when I say strict decision is very important in your business.
Absolutely. It's business, not personal. And some people
exactly.
I love that. And, I've never really heard an artist really talk about pleasing their fans. I know it's in the back burner, but I've never really heard an artist outwardly come to that. So yeah. I know we always get this question, and I want to put a spin on it. If you could tell your younger self something, what would it be? Today, I don't want to ask you that. I actually want to ask you, if you could tell your broken self something, what would that be? And that broken self moment could have been yesterday, could have been 10 years ago. What would you tell yourself?
I would tell my broken self to let it go.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think that's something that's hard for me because I am broken within. I have been betrayed by people that I love, that I give my all to, and I can't seem to let it go. I hold on to things, you know. I'm like, I can't believe that this person would do that, or, you know, I've done so much, I've given so much, and I don't know how I hold it. And so that's what makes me broken. But I think I would tell my broken self to let it go.
I love that. And you know, that's thank you for sharing that. That's very honest and raw of you. And I don't think a lot of us do that. A lot of us don't let go. We hold on because I would never do that to you. I would never do that to somebody.
Yes.
But
you can never understand.
Yes. But we have to understand that how I operate, some people don't do that. So you just have to let it go and keep moving, you know.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, how do you practice self-care? You know, you have so many things going on. You know, you're, again, Grammy nominated artist. You have, you know, the Grace Noir fashion brand. You have the Faces and Laces beauty line, the Grace Hamilton Foundation. You're a mom. How do you take time for just you? Not spicy artist, just you as a person.
What helps me to stay balanced with everything is an alarm on my phone. My days is sectionalized and I work with those alarms. So when I wake up in the morning, you know, I'm Grace Hamilton.
Yes.
All that spice stuff, it gotta wait for a certain time. So I'm Grace Hamilton because I'm in mommy mode. I gotta make sure the kids are okay. The kids are eating. I'm making breakfast. You know, the man, you know, I gotta take care of him. If he gotta eat, I gotta feed the kids. So I'm Grace Hamilton. When the kids are okay and the man is okay, I'm in spice mode. So now I got to go on my Instagram. I got to be consistent. I got to post. I got to make sure my business is running. I'm checking up on Grass and Noir. I'm checking up on, you know, this business and, you know, but when that is okay, I have classes. I'm also a student at the Miami University because I'm doing marketing. So, you know, then that's time for school. So that goes back to school mode. And then when it comes on again, so I work off of a schedule. My days are fully sectionalized and scheduled out. And that's how I manage to maneuver being a lady with many hats.
I love that.
So when it's time for a break, I get my break, I relax, you know. I have my eating schedule too, because I gotta put that in there. So,
does the food include dumpling? Is that in there?
That's my favorite.
Yes.
That is my favorite.
I love that. So ladies, everybody listening, a schedule is key to just balance success, but keeping you on track, because with so many things going on, you need to be grounded in some way. So I know we have a little bit of time left. I did want to ask you two last questions. So when was the moment Grace Hamilton knew that she made it in general? When was that moment for you?
I think that was when I got Fight Over Man.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I became popular before I got a hit song because I was a lyrical genius back in the days when I was younger. I started when I was about 14 years old. So I was spitting lyrics on stage. I was clashing. You know, I tell people all the time, Bounty Killer is the first person to hand me a microphone. I was young in my community. He was on stage and clearing the stage. And I went up there as a young little girl. He handed me the microphone. He was like, "What is your name?" And I just started spitting lyrics. We ended up into a clash. Me, Bounty Killer, Power Man, a lot of artists that was on the stage. That's where my career started from. So over the years, I used to spit lyrics. I used to counteract a lot of songs, turn around lyrics, and I was popular within Jamaica before I even have a hit song. When I did, however, meet Baby Sham and Dave Kelly and I got Fight Over Man, that's when I realized, wow, this is really what it is. So when I started to get bookings to go overseas, I remember my first international show was in New York. And I was on the flyer and I came and I remember going down to the Bronx and Brooklyn and seeing my face on the wall. You remember how they used to make those flyers and paste them all over the streets? that's when I realized that I made it.
I love that.
And the performance that I did, and when I sang that song and hearing the audience sing word for word, me's a girl, me not fight over man. I was like, yes, I made it. I feel like Richie feelings now. I made it.
I love that. I will tell you, that song to this day, when it comes on in the club, every girl, the man them are just them pulls up and them vex, because they're just like, because we are out there. That is the woman's anthem. I'm letting you know that is our anthem.
Period.
Period. And then last question. What do you want Spice to be remembered for? What is the legacy you want to leave with this world? Because I'm sure you're not doing this. Obviously, it's for pleasure. You love the craft, but what is it that you want to leave this world with?
I think that would be just knowing that I was one of the best dancehall female artists to ever emerge out of Jamaica. One of the most talented, one of the most creative, best stage performance, I feel like I've just given to the culture and the genre. So just leaving here knowing that my name will carry on, I think that will be a great accomplishment.
Amazing. Well, you are the greatest, one of the greatest.
Yeah, one of.
One of course, because there are many that have come before. You are here now. There are many that will come after, but you will be in that history. So we claim that in Jesus' name. And I'm going to put it out here. We claim that you will win this Grammy. You are the Grammy winner. That's
I receive it.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Put it out there in the air. I receive it.
Yes, receive and claim. So congratulations again. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody, this was Sisters of Superpowers, Peace and Purpose virtual event with the Queen of Dancehall, Miss Spice. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Big up on yourself, right there. So yeah. Different category, different category, different, me not different category.
Thank you so much, Spice.